It's Angela over at Urbancore Pilates and Fitness. Today I'm going to show you a little tutorial on how to do a proper crunch. It's a great exercise when you can really get the technique right, but unfortunately a lot of people feel it in their necks and their low backs and they avoid doing it because of that. So we're going to start laying on our backs, and you're going to bring your hands behind your head. The most common thing that we see people doing here at the studio is the neck lift. That's what we'll call it. So we see people going like this with their necks, and they're trying to do it with their necks, and then they're feeling it in their abdominals a little bit, but they're mostly feeling it in their necks, and they're only feeling it in their superficial abdominals. So the first thing we want to do is to stabilize the shoulders on the back so that our neck is supported. So you want to slide your shoulder blades down the back, and then what you want to feel is like your head is cradling in your hands and you're lifting up from the armpits. So my head's heavy in my hands, I'm lifting up from my armpits, and I'm feeling the sides of my waist really activate so that I'm just isolating the abdominals. And then I'm going to lower down. So notice the difference between neck lift here and then shoulders down and wide, keeping the head heavy in the hands, lifting from the sides of the waist. I'm really using the deep abdominals to bring you up. So here I'm really solid. My shoulder blades are on my back, and I feel like I could stay here forever. Even if I took my hands off, I would feel really good about this. If I just did a neck lift like this, you see how I'm straining my neck to get up, and my shoulders are all up towards my ears, and I look very uncomfortable. Even as a lay person, you can see that it doesn't look normal or good. So again, let me show you with the shoulder arms down by your sides. Once you get strong enough, you're going to pull the shoulders down and then lift up from the sides of the waist using the abdominals. The neck just follows that natural line. You can see how much more solid I am in here, and I don't have all this unnecessary tension here. The next thing you want to focus on is not curling your tailbone when you come up. So what a lot of people do in addition to the neck lift is they'll do neck lift and then a curl, and then they'll push their stomachs out. Okay? That's not supportive to your spine when you just bulge out and push your stomach out. In fact, it compresses your discs. So what you want to do is keeping the shoulders down, keeping the head heavy in the hands, using the sides of the waist to lift up, holding it up here, keeping your pelvis stable and not going into the tuck and squeezing the butt position, because you'll just work the superficial abdominals. Once you have that, you can bring your legs up into a shelf, and you can kind of do the same thing here, keeping your pelvis stable, using your abdominals to lift, and hold it, and you should be able to feel solid here. Now once I'm solid in the upper body and I'm solid in the lower body here, what I can do then is do all sorts of fun stuff like lowering the legs, lifting the legs. Notice how this stays really solid when I do that. Then you could do things like double leg lifts, solid here, and in. Unfortunately, if you do the tuck and you try and go out like this, all I'm doing is I'm compressing my back into the mat, and I'm using my hip flexors. That's not going to strengthen your deep abdominals. And your deep abdominals run like a corset all the way around, and they support and stabilize your spine. So if you're doing nothing but compressing like this and squeezing, all you're doing is working your neck, your hip flexors, and crushing your low back, none of which you probably want to do. So that's our little tutorial on how to do a proper crunch. Hopefully you realize that if you keep the shoulder blades stable, make the abdominals drive the movement, and keep a neutral pelvis, you can find more effectiveness in the movement and find your deep abdominals, and then advance to things that are much harder while doing it in a proper way so that you protect your back and your neck.